In this video, I just wanted to make a more casual update video on why OnePlus 6 won't work on Verizon. So I saw your comments in my previous video, hey Stetson, why don't you try entering different APN settings or calling Verizon, contacting Verizon to get things set up and working properly. And so I was curious. I actually ended up going to my local Verizon store, bringing the OnePlus 6 in and talking with the manager, seeing if we could get OnePlus 6 to work on the Verizon network. And pretty much what we found is what I showcased in my previous video covering whether or not OnePlus 6 would work on Verizon. So we popped a SIM card out of one of the display phones, we popped it into my OnePlus 6, and what we found, again, very similar. Basically, cellular data was working, so I can show you that here. It is able to connect. It does say Verizon Wireless. You can even see it down here in the speed test app. So we saw cellular data working properly. However, whenever we tried to make a phone call, that would not go through. And I can just demo that quickly here. So here you can see cellular data working properly. It does connect to the Verizon network, and it does work to some degree. But again, if we head into the phone app, and let's just say I try calling the second Stetson, you can see, or here rather, get an error soon.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your mobile number is either not active or is invalid. For assistance, please contact your wireless service provider.
So there we go. Again, we saw pretty much that exact same thing happen in the Verizon store. And so I was speaking with the manager about it, and basically what he says is while the phone has some compatibility with the network, because OnePlus 6 is a foreign-made phone, so it's made by OnePlus and it's manufactured in China, it's not part of the US database of phones that Verizon is using to be part of their network. So because OnePlus 6, it's a foreign phone, it's not part of the database of phones that Verizon is using, they're not able to activate it on the Verizon network. So if I was to go in and try and sign up for Verizon, they would not be able to activate this phone on the network regardless of its compatibility. It's just not part of the database, so they wouldn't be able to use it. Now, this got me thinking, well, wait a minute, Samsung. Samsung is a North Korean company, and they manufacture phones in Taiwan. How are those able to work or be part of the database, whereas OnePlus 6 isn't? And, I think that's a good question. I didn't end up asking the manager about it, but, I think what it comes down to is Verizon either may have a shared database or an internal database of phones that they allow on their network, and they probably have some sort of deal with Samsung, so those phones will work. But in terms of OnePlus 6, that is not an option, so unfortunately, OnePlus 6 will not work on Verizon. So there you go. I tried to look more into it for you guys so you could kind of understand what's going on, and I was curious myself. I wanted to know why OnePlus 6 wasn't quite working on Verizon. So regardless of some compatibility, because it is not part of Verizon's database, it will not work on Verizon. And one of the things the manager was telling me about is travelers who bring phones from, let's say, Australia or India, and they try and use those on the Verizon network. Same kind of deal. The phones aren't part of the database of approved devices, so they are unfortunately unable to activate those phones on the Verizon network. So there you go. That wraps up this video, a quick, more casual video on why OnePlus 6 unfortunately will not work on Verizon. Again, if you saw my previous video, it works great on carriers like Mint Mobile or Cricket Wireless. Highly recommend checking those carriers out as an alternative. But unfortunately, compatibility remains poor with OnePlus 6 on the Verizon network. So there you go. That wraps up this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up down below. Subscribe for more videos like this one. I'm Stetson. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.